algorithm. Now in this today's lecture, we will cover this pseudocode convention like assignment statements and basic control structure. So just wait. Okay, pseudocode convention means what? Pseudocode is an informal way of programming description that does not require any strict programming language syntax or underlying technology consideration. Pseudocode is not an actual programming language, so it cannot be compiled into an executable program. Pseudocode is used for to express your algorithm. In last lecture, we covered what is the meaning of algorithm, how to develop our own algorithm, right? So pseudocode is a next step of algorithm. We cannot implement pseudocode as a program, right? We cannot implement pseudocode as a program. We can write our pseudocode in simple English level statement and some basic control structures. So what are the different control structures? Here, first one is assignment statement. Assignment statement means what? Just wait. Assignment statements means what? Yesterday I told you, if you want to perform addition of two numbers, then your operation is on the right hand side, and whatever the operand you want to store this value, it is situated at the left hand side. Means what? Assignment statement. Okay, assignment statement. Assignment statement in C, we can represent assignment statement by using equal to sign. Okay, if you want to assign some value to a variable, suppose I declare one variable as integer, means it can hold one number value, suppose integer a, and I want to give value to the integer value to the a, so we can represent it as a is equal to 10. Means what? Assignment operator perform any activity, whatever the value at right hand side, that is RHS, is supplied to the LHS side. Means what? After execution of this program, your A becomes 10, right? A becomes 10. If you want to perform some addition or subtraction, multiplication, so you can write it as C is equal to 10 plus 20. So it means that perform addition, that is 30, and store this 30 value inside C. Means what? After execution, C becomes 30, right? So this is the main motto of assignment operator. Okay. Then now next is symbol of assignment operator is like we can represent it is equal to. Okay. Then next are control structures. These are the some control structures available in C programming. Okay. We can use this control structure in pseudocode. Okay. In pseudocode, we can represent this control structure. If suppose first one is if and then. Okay, if and then means what? Starting of this control structure is starts from if. Okay, then you can put your condition here, and whatever the condition, if this condition is true, you can put your result here. Otherwise, if this condition is false, then you can put else here, and you can put whatever the statement associated with else, you can put here, and you can end this if by end if. Okay, you can write your pseudocode like this. Means what? This is the an example of if then else. Here value if then else. If value of age is greater than 70, then display message you can vote. Else display a message you can't vote. Means what? Here, this is the best example. If suppose we can ask to the user enter your age. Okay, suppose user enter his age 20. Okay, so check this. If age is greater than 80, then what to do? Display message, display message, what? So message will be display on the screen, you can vote. Okay, you can vote. Otherwise, if some another user enters his age as 17, means what? Here your 17 is greater than 18? No. So display one message for those user whose age is less than 18, that you can't vote. Okay, you can't vote. So these are the two messages will be displayed according to users input, and then at the end you have to mention end if. This is not C program, this is a pseudo code. These are the some English statements, this is the condition, right? This is the next step of algorithm. After that we can develop our program after pseudocode. Okay, in next unit. So age is greater than 18. Suppose first value, age value is 20. So here compare 20 with 18. 20 is greater than 18. Yes. So this message will be displayed on the screen. You can vote. Okay, you can vote is display here. If another user enters value 17, what will we get? 17 is greater than 18? No. So this if block is skipped and else block is executed. It prints you can't vote. You can't vote. So this message will be display on the screen. Okay, this is not proper timing to enter in the class. Okay, now next is case statement. Okay, these are the case statements example. I will just cut this and copy. Okay, now next is case statement. What is the use of case statement? If some users enter the value from 0 to 17, means suppose there are 100 users, 100 users, from 100 users 20 users enters their age from 0 to 17, means someone enter 1, someone enter 10, someone enter 15, someone enter 16, 17, 14, like this. So for them you can print one single message, you can't vote. Okay, for 0 to 17 numbers, for 0 to 17 numbers, if user enters any number from 0 to 17, message is same, you can't vote. Okay, then now another users enters values from 18 to 64. What is the value? If user enters value from 18 to 64, then display the message you are in your working years. So this message is displayed for those users you are in your working years. After that, some users enters their age value from 65 to 90, means someone entered 66, 65, 89, 82, 90. So for those all the users, you can display the same message, you should be retired. Means what? These are the some cases. Okay, these are three cases you can perform. your action according to user's input. These all cases are depend on age value, right? Case of here your input is age, and here your case is end with end case statement. Okay, this is the another way to represent your pseudocode. Then now next is while, for and do while. Okay, while, for and do while. Just check here what is the meaning of while. We will discuss this all in programming. This is only pseudocode, this is not actual program. Okay, this is while statement. While means what? If you perform many if you perform some statements many time, okay, then you can use looping statement. There are some looping statements available in C, that is for loop. Okay, for loop. Okay, for loop, then while loop, while loop, and then do while loop, do while loop. Okay, these are the three loops. Suppose I want to print some value again and again, means what? Here my message is I love programming. I want to display this message again and again. So we can use for loop, while loop, or do while loop. Loop means what? Perform same step, perform same statement, display some value again and again according to condition. Then you can go for looping statement. There are three looping statements in C: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So first is while loop. Okay. So here I assign count value is 0. Okay. So my count becomes 0 initially. Okay. Then this is the while loop. Okay, it is executed depends on this condition. Count is less than 5. Atta count ची value किती आहे? 0. Now compare this. 0 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true. So if this condition true, display this message. So first, I love programming is display first time. Okay. Then now next, what will happen? Increment count. Previous value of count is 0. Increment now 1 ने त्याला वाढवायचंय. So count becomes 1. मग आपण कुठे आलो? एंड व्हाईलला आलो. इथे एंड व्हाईल आल्यानंतर परत कुठे जम्प करायचंय? कंडिशनला व्हाईलच्या, म्हणजे या एंड व्हाईल कडून जम्प करायचंय परत इथे काउंट इज लेस दॅन 5. आता काउंटची व्हॅल्यू किती आहे? 1 आहे, बरोबर. काउंट इज 1. 1 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true. And if this condition is true, then display this message, I love C programming. So second time I love programming is display. Then what will happen? After display, increment count. Count becomes 2. Again check the condition. 2 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true. And if condition is true, then display again. Third time, I love programming. Then again increment count. Count becomes 3. 3 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true. Then again print fourth time, I love programming. Then now increment count. Count becomes 4. Again jump to the while. 4 is less than 5. Yes, condition is true now. And if condition is true, then again print 5 time, I love programming. Now next, check here, increment the count value. Now count becomes 5. End while, jump to the condition. 5 is less than 5. Yes. Is it true? Yes, 5 is less than 5. Our condition is count is less than 5. Now new value of count becomes 5. 5 is less than 5 आहे का? Yes. No, right? Because it is equal. So now here condition becomes false. Right? Condition becomes false. So don't print this. I love programming. So now here you will get 5 times I love programming message because of while loop. Okay, while loop. Because of while loop, you will get 5 times this message. Then now next is then now next is for loop. Okay, this is the pseudocode convention, not a program. I again and again repeat this statement. Okay. Okay, this is again same, but it looks like something different than while loop. Okay, suppose I will take another example. So for loop, for here my x starts at suppose 0. My condition is x is less than 3 and increment x value. Increment x value. And here I want to display some message. Display some message. Hi. I want to display some message. Hi. And here your end of for. So end for. So now what will happen? Just check. Here x is a variable. It starts at 0. Means what? Your x becomes 0 now initially. Initially there are three statements, right? This one first statement, this is the condition statement, and this is the increment decrement part. You can increment and decrement also. Okay, so x starts at 0. Now my x becomes 0. Then check the condition after first statement. X is less than 3, yes, value of x is 0, and 0 is less than 3, yes, condition true. And if condition true, go inside display message hi. So first hi is display on the screen. Okay, first hi is display on the screen. Then end of for loop. When reaching end of for loop, you have to jump to the increment part in for loop. So increment x, x becomes 1. Okay, x becomes 1. After increment, go to the condition again. Okay, x is less than 3, 1 is less than 3, yes, condition is true. Then display high message again. Now next high is display here. Okay, then again end of for loop, then jump to the increment section. Now x becomes 2. Okay, 2 is less than 3, yes, condition is true. Display high message again, high. Okay, again end of for loop, again increment the x, x becomes 3 now. Then what will happen? 3 is less than 3, condition gets false, so skip this for loop, don't execute. So now here after executing for loop, you will get 3 times high on your screen, right? Here my code is display high, there is one message only, but it is executed 3 times. Okay, so this is the idea of for loop. Then now next is do while loop. Okay, do while loop is again interesting. Okay, suppose here I will return it again. Suppose count, I given count value as 3. Okay, count value as 3, and then my do loop. Do, then display message, display. Here my message is I love programming. I love programming. Then decrement count. Here I decrement the count. Means what? It is decrement by 1. Decrement count while count is greater than 0. Okay, means what? Do is executed up to when my count value is greater than 0. Initially count किती आहे? Count is 3, right? So now do display I love programming. So first message is display I love programming is display here. Then decrement count. Count becomes now 2. Okay. Check the condition count is greater than 0. Yes, 2 is greater than 0. Condition true. Go inside and then print I love programming. Okay. Then print I love programming. Okay. Second message is display again I love programming. Then now next is decrement the count again. Now count becomes 1. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, condition is true. Then again go inside do loop. So I love programming is display again. 3 time it is display. Decrement count, count becomes 0. Now check 0 is greater than 0. Is it true? No, it gets false here, right? So don't execute do while do loop here. Okay. So now you will get 3 time I love programming message on your screen. So these are the 3 loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. This is the execution part and this is the pseudo code part, not programming. Okay. We will cover this part in detail in third unit. Okay. So now next is algorithms problems. We have to develop some algorithms. Okay. So develop algorithm for sum of two numbers. So here, okay, these are the some questions. Develop an algorithm for addition of two numbers or sum of two numbers. Okay. So here this is the answer of that question. So question is develop an algorithm to compute and display the sum of two numbers. We have to develop algorithm to compute sum of two numbers. Means numbers are suppose 25 and 30. We have to develop algorithm for this procedure. So here your algorithm is always starts from first step is start. So here I written start and last step is stop. So here I written stop and in between you have to write your algorithm. So if there is a question in your exam, develop an algorithm to compute and display sum of two numbers. So first you have to write first step as a start and last step as a stop. Okay. In computer, in computing, we have to store these two values inside some variable. Yesterday I already told you, right? Computer requires memory to store the number. So here I declare two variables a and b and stored this value inside a and b, 25 and 30 here. So here my next step becomes read two numbers a and b, means your 25 is stored inside a and 30 is stored inside b. Okay. Then now next step is calculate the sum of a and b and stored in the sum. So this is again another third variable. I have to calculate these two values. So sum is equal to a plus b. Now it becomes 25 plus 30 means what? 55 is stored inside some variable. That's why here sum is declared, right? Stored this value inside sum. And we have to display the message for user your sum value is. So display the value of sum, then 55 will be displayed and your algorithm will stop here. Okay. This is the way how to develop your own algorithm. So now tell me, if I want to develop subtraction, multiplication or division algorithm, what is the change? Change is only in here, right? Calculate the subtraction, right? Subtraction of a and b, right? And in sub. Okay. And here sub. So this is algorithm for subtraction. Multiplication, instead of sub, write down multiplication, multiplication, and multiplication. If you want to perform divisions algorithm, so write down here division, division, and division. Algorithm is same, right? Only variable names are changed. Okay, I will share these notes today in your class group. You have to read all the notes carefully and write down in your theory notebook. Okay, so this is the next is average of set of two numbers. Okay, I want to calculate average of set of data values. Okay, so how to develop to calculate an average? So suppose concept is like this. Suppose I have some five values: 1, 7, 10, 15, and 9. Okay, how to calculate average? Yes, anyone? How to calculate average? Yes, 1, 7. I have some numbers: 1, 7, 10, 15, 9. I want to calculate average. Yes, how to calculate average? Yes, कोण सांगते? How to calculate average of this number: 1, 7, 10, 15, and 9? हाँ, Ajay Kumar is there. Ajay Kumar. Yes, कौन सांगते? How to calculate average? How to calculate average of this number? I want to calculate average of this number. Yes, मराठीमध्ये काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला? सरासरी म्हणतो, राईट? कशी काढतो आपण ॲव्हरेज? सांगायचंय फास्ट. कोण सांगते? Okay, sum of all numbers and divide it by total numbers. Okay, good. Means what? We can calculate this sum means what? 1 plus 7, right? Plus 10 plus 15 and plus 9. And divide this number. How many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. Okay. This is your average. What is the value? You can calculate it. Okay, this is the average of these five numbers. So we have to develop algorithm for this. So first step is start. Okay, first step is start, and last step whatever here I written stop here. So now next step is accept the five numbers from user. So write down here accept the five numbers from user. So user can enter his own number, right? From user. So user काय करणार आहे? त्याला हवेत ते 5 नंबर तो एंटर करेल. नाउ नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज पुढे काय केलं आपण? We can calculate addition of these 5 numbers, right? So calculate sum of 5 numbers, right? 5 numbers. Okay. After calculation, divide divide this sum by how many numbers? 5. 5. And now store your result, that is average. Store result in one variable. Suppose we can call it as AVG. AVG. And now AVG contains whatever the result of average of this 5 number, it contains the value. And now we have to display this value. So display AVG, display AVG, and last step is stop. So it is very simple to develop your own algorithm. It contains only English statements. No need to uh, give more time to prepare algorithm. It is very simple. Whatever the procedure, we can return it into English statement, right? So this is your algorithm to calculate average of 5 numbers. Okay, you can write it in your own words. Okay, no need to copy these statements, whatever I written on this board. Okay, but logic should be same. Okay, now next is flowchart. Okay, there are some algorithms also available. This is factorial algorithm. We will discuss this algorithm in detail while programming. Factorial means what? Just you have to check today. Factorial means what? Suppose my number is my number value is 5. Okay, I want to calculate factorial of 5. How to calculate? Just put your number 5 minus 1 4 minus 1 3 minus 1 2 minus 1 1, go up to 1. Okay, and multiply it. Okay, multiply it. What is the result? Yes, anyone? Yes, what is the result of factorial? So we can represent is a 5 factorial is equal to, yes, काय result येणार आहे? 5 4 3 2 1, multiply it, right? 120, right? Good. 120 is a result. So 120 is a factorial. 120 is a factorial. So this is the algorithm how to calculate factorial. You have to read this today. Okay, we will discuss it later. Okay, here I return start and stop step. Okay, then here fact is variable. Fact is declared with 1. Why it is declared with 1? Because the reason behind that, factorial of 0 is always 1, not 0. Always remember this thing. Factorial of 0 is always 1. You can represent factorial as a exclamatory sign after that number. So here exclamatory sign is given. So zero's factorial is always 1, not 0. Always remember this thing. So that's why here fact equal to 1 is declared here. Okay, and you have to calculate your all the multiplication like this. Fact equal to fact into I, and I plus 1 means here I is declared with 1. Okay, now write an algorithm to check whether the given number is prime or not. So this is the same algorithm. Okay, you have to study this algorithm. Write an algorithm to print even numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, 1 to 100, you have to print this number from 1 to 100. So what is the logic? Uh, Suppose I have a numbers 1 to 100. So 1 to 100. Okay, what is the logic? How to calculate even and odd number? If your number is divisible by 2, right? Divisible by 2, and you will get remainder as a 0, then this is even number. This is the logic, right? Otherwise it is odd number. Okay, so we can represent this statement like this: number, whatever the number value is, mod, this operation is called as modulus. Mod 2 is equal to 0 if, okay, if number mod 2 equal to 0 means what? Suppose my number value is 50. 50 mod 2 equal to 0. Let's check. 2 divided by 50. Okay, 50 25 is division, and remainder is 0. So your remainder value is equal to that 0. Yes, means what? Result of this operation is, if it is 0 and it is matched with this 0, then your condition is true. Then you can print or display it is an even number. And let's here otherwise, so else if you can print it is an odd number. If remainder does not zero, then you can print odd number. This is the logic. Okay. Just keep in mind there is a difference between division and modulus. Okay. Here, suppose here I return two statements. Okay, 1 minute. I return two statements. Okay, 50 50 divide by 2. Okay, and my another statement is like this: 50 mod 2. So let's check what is the result of these two expressions. 50 mod 2 means what? Divide 50 by 2. Sorry, 50 divided by 2. So 25, 50, 0, 0. So answer of the expression of first expression is this one, division. So answer of first one is 25. What about next, second? Here, second expression states that you have to perform you have to perform 50 mod 2. Okay, 50 mod 2. So now 50 divide by 2. So division is 25, 50, 0, 0. So now here answer is 0. This is remainder. This is division. So always keep in mind, if operator is division, so your answer is 25. Operator is mod, your answer is remainder. So answer of this statement is 0 and answer of this statement is 25. Always remember. Okay, got it? Difference between that. It is called division operator, and it is called percent. It is called modulus operator. Okay, or mod operator. Okay, modulus operator or mod operator. Then now next is write an algorithm to find greatest of three numbers. You have three numbers and you have to calculate which one is greater. You have to define which one is greater number from that. So logic of this, so logic of this greatest number, suppose I have three numbers 10, 10, 5 and 12. So after reading these numbers, we understand 12 is greater. But how to check? So suppose I represent this number by giving the variable names A, B, C. A is 10, B is 5 and C is 12. So compare A and B together. Okay, compare A and B. Which one is greater from A and B? A is greater, right? A is 10, B is 5. So A is greater. Now, after we get greatest number from these two number. Now compare this with C. So now A and C. Check which one is greater, 10 and 12. Now we will get C is greatest number. So this is the logic how to get greatest number from three numbers. Okay. So this is the algorithm given. Okay. Now next is flowchart. Okay. Flowchart means what? Flowchart is a symbol of flowchart and guidelines of preparing flowchart. Flowchart means what? You can represent your algorithm in graphical representation. Okay, you can represent your algorithm in graphical representation. Means you have to develop your algorithm first and you can represent your algorithm in different symbols. Okay, what are the some symbols? Terminator. First one is terminator. Terminator means what? You can represent first step and last step, that is start and stop step, by this symbol, terminator. And now next is process. You can represent process by using rectangle. It indicates normal process flow. decision. Here we decided I mod 2 is equal to 0. If it is true, then go to some side. So this is called as decision. You can represent decision by diamond sign. Okay, diamond sign. Then now connector. Connector is used to, if you are writing your flow chart and you have to jump some another process, so it can connect your flow chart or it can connect your process to another flow chart. Okay, so connector is represented by circle. Then input output, this is not rectangle, these are the parallel lines, right? Okay, it indicates data input and output for a process. If you accept some data and if you want to display some result on the screen, then you can use this parallelogram as a input and output. Arrows represent process flow or direction of flow control. These are the arrows. Okay. Additional symbols are, this is preparation symbol. You can use this preparation symbol with looping, for loop, do loop, while loop. Okay. And separation refers another separate flow chart. This one is separation symbol. So this is my first algorithms. Just okay, this one. Okay, we will develop a flow chart for this one. Okay, I want to design flowchart for this algorithm. How to design start and stop आपण कशी रिप्रेझेंट करणार आहे, तर त्याच्यासाठी सिम्बॉल कोणता होता बघा इथे, स्टार्ट अँड स्टॉप साठी. तर हा टर्मिनेटरचा सिम्बॉल आहे. सो ड्रॉ दिस. So here I will draw. Just check here. If you understand first example, then you can do it for next. Okay, terminator, it is corner is curve and both sides are ruler. Okay, first step is start. So here I written start. So first step is completed. Last step is stop. So here I again use same symbol and here stop. Okay, so now next is read two numbers A and B. This is the input from user. And how to read input? Which one? This is the symbol of this input output. If you want to accept data, if you want to display data, use this symbol. This is not rectangle, this is parallelogram. So here use this symbol. So here I draw and put this statement in this read A and B. Okay, join this by flow lines. Okay, then now next calculate. This is the process and process is represented by rectangle. So draw one rectangle and here you are calculate the sum. Sum is equal to A plus B, right? Or you can write this statement inside that symbol and connect it. Now display the value. So this is your output. So again use parallelogram and here and write down here display sum, display sum and connect it. So now your flowchart is completed. Your flowchart is completed for this algorithm. Okay, so this is the process how to design your flowchart. 1 minute. Okay, so now next is next flowchart. This is for sum. Okay, these all flowchart are related with your previous algorithm. Okay, you can check, you can read first algorithm and then go for flowchart of it. So you will get flowchart of first algorithm here. Okay, algorithm 1. Okay, in these notes. Okay, then this is the flowchart of factorial. Here first we read the number n, then we initialize I is equal to 1 and fact is equal to 1, because Factorial of 0 is 1, right? So now check this. If your value is not matched with n, then increment I and multiply with fact. Okay. This is the decision symbol, right? If it is true, then increment your I. If it is false, it goes to print fact value. Okay. And then stop. Now next is flowchart to determine whether number is prime or not. You can check it today. Okay. These are the some flowchart examples. Okay, what are the different guidelines for flowchart? Okay, guidelines to draw a flowchart is okay. So use specified symbols. Use specified symbols means what? Use appropriate symbols. Use correct symbols. Don't use incorrect symbols. Symbols we already seen some symbols, right? So तुम्हाला काय करायचंय की फ्लोचार्ट ड्रॉ करताना करेक्ट सिम्बॉलचा यूज करायचा आहे. यूज फ्लो लाईन्स. फ्लो लाईन्स मीन्स व्हॉट? पहिली प्रोसेस मी अशी ड्रॉ केली, त्यानंतर कनेक्ट करताना काय केलंय? ॲरोचा यूज केला. हियर आय यूज ॲरोज टू कनेक्ट processes. So use flow lines. Show separation. Use different or separate symbols for separate process. So separation means what? Here my input is display in this symbol and process is display in this symbol. If there are two process, if I want to calculate addition and subtraction also, so first symbol is for addition and second symbol same rectangle is for subtraction and connect it by using flow lines. Okay, these are the some guidelines. Include written comments and clarification. So you have to write down your statements inside all the symbols. Here you can write start, right? After end you can write stop. Okay, here subtraction is equal to C minus A, addition is equal to A plus B. Okay, like this. Draw flowchart neatly and clearly. This is the main motto. Means what? Your flowchart should be understandable. Your flowchart should be readable in manner. Okay, so draw flowchart neatly and clearly. So our first unit is completed here. Okay, these are the some questions. Okay, you can read these questions and write down your answers in your notebook. Okay, you will get all the answers in notes also. Okay, so I will share these notes to you people in your WhatsApp group. Okay, I will share this link. You have to write all the notes neatly in your theory notebook. Don't write in your practical notebook. Okay, I will tell you later how to write practicals, how to write manual. Okay, don't take printout of manuals. Okay, prepare one theory notebook and write down it today. Okay, this first unit theory. Okay, I will share it later. Okay, any question from your side?